I'm Alli. I came out after 20 years of marriage, and I have 3 kids.
I'm Melisa, and I have 2 kids, and I came out at 37 after an 11-year marriage.
This podcast is about coming out later and the struggles and victories that come with it.
When coming out feels like the end of the world, but it's really just the beginning.
This is the Lesbian Chronicles.
Welcome to the Lesbian Chronicles.
We're in a new location.
I know, new spot.
Today, normally I would have the board, but today Melisa is in control of the board. And she actually used to always be in control. And then I don't know why I took over.
I don't know. Well, mainly because you usually have it.
Okay, yeah.
In your possession.
Okay.
Because it's pretty rare, never that you're coming to Peachtree City.
Oh, so. Well, you know what? Also, do you know how they say like when musicians like to have a guitar because it's like a buffer, like a safety buffer between you and the audience? Like some people, like even if they can't play well, they have a guitar because it's like this protective thing. It is weird now not to have the board in front of me,
right? Yeah,
like I'm giving a speech without like a podium.
Giving a speech without a podium.
It's a little weird.
That is probably one of the weird things about like doing stand-up is you are up there with,
oh my God,
anything.
It's fucking ballsy.
Like,
what really
wild.
surprises me about you is I'm not shy. I'm very confident. I still don't know that I would want my friends in the audience, and you always are like, yeah, come. I'm like, why would you want your friends
like
there?
That at first, remember? Like the first time I ever did it, I didn't invite a soul.
I wouldn't have, not only would I not invite anyone, I would be like, please don't come.
Please don't come.
Yeah. It's like when my friends hire me, or like I'll have friends call me and be like, hey, we want to hire you to do our house. I'm like, please don't.
Please don't.
It's too much pressure.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit, but then again, I find that when I invite friends, they tend to laugh a little bit louder. And it's like kind of get the audience going a little bit.
Does that really work?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, laughter's contagious, right?
Yeah. I also can't, I don't like the idea of being in the audience of your show because I also feel protective. So it would be like, how do I adequately enjoy it? Yeah. Or even if you're not bombing, if I don't feel like I know how to best, I don't know. I know you're funny. So I would think it's funny. But then it's like, is it pressure on me? It's like opening a gift in front of the gift giver.
Yeah.
I got to do a whole thing to
Well, and it's like, what if you don't like what I'm saying? And then it's like you have
that's
to be
still funny though. But that's still
like,
funny.
Oh, you were on stage. How cool!
You were so interesting tonight. No, if you were bombing, I honestly think we could make that funny. I mean, that would be kind of funny.
It would be kind of funny.
Oh, if you did bomb though, would you want your people there for post bomb, or would you be like, you know what?
Oh, I don't know. I'd probably want to melt into the floor.
Yeah, go back to the hotel.
I've never
take
really
a lot of drugs.
I had anything where I felt like I bombed.
Yeah,
though. I've had some jokes that didn't quite land, but it was more of the audience, I think, and that I just kind of had to realize all right, sometimes you're going to have a different diverse crowd and this joke isn't going to work for this crowd.
They don't get it. Yeah. But what is it about a crowd that the whole crowd is the same? It's like I
don't know. It's kind of wild. Because at the Punchline in Buckhead where I do, probably where I've gone up the most, that tends to be Buckhead people who are white, over 40 usually, and straight. So,
okay.
And then Laughing Skull Lounge, which is inside of the Vortex, that tends to be more of a younger crowd, 20s, and a lot of men though.
Who thinks it's funnier?
What do you mean?
What crowd?
I would say the Laughing Skull probably gets a little bit more of my gay stuff better.
Okay.
Punchline can too, but I found with Punchline I try to focus more on telling stories about my kids and stuff like parenting stuff.
Okay. Okay, so, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gay stuff does seem like it'd be funnier.
Yeah, well, stuff. I know. And the gay stuff does align with them, but I found that I have to kind of be cautious about, not do it too much. My whole shtick can't be
because it's they're not gay, so they're that's not funny. I don't know why that's funny.
Much to it. The one that really lands though with pretty much everybody is the joke that I have about threesomes being the gateway drug to becoming a lesbian.
Oh God, it's true.
It's so true.
Yeah, it is.
And anyone who has spent any time on a dating app has seen these couples that are on there. And
but is it what you want to tell them is that to the husband? I want to say dude, you're not in on the joke,
right?
Listen. Listen, newsflash. P.S.
P.S.
She's playing you.
You were playing with fire,
exactly.
sir. Like, I know this sounds wonderful.
I know this story well. I know how this is.
It sounds great. It looks great on Pornhub, but in reality, you're not going to measure up.
No, and in the end, it's like she's playing you. Right. She may not even know she's doing it.
She doesn't know she's doing it.
She doesn't even know she's doing it, but she's doing it.
It's this hot, sexy thing, right?
Yeah,
and then
it's so true. Dude, P.S.
Like, I mean, and not to say we're making a broad generalization here. Sure, people have threesomes and everything works out fine.
Yeah, it usually does.
But what's even funnier is that so often these men look like awful.
Really?
Like, I wouldn't want to touch this man with a 10-foot pole, even if it was like 15 years ago when I thought I was straight.
That's hilarious. Well, it's funny because Tatum is 20, but she always talks about how she's like, I know I'm going to end up a lesbian because middle-aged men are like disgusting to me.
Seriously.
She's like, but I'm like, but are middle-aged women okay? She's like, yeah, they're still like beautiful to me, but middle-aged men, she's like, I'm not down with it.
It'll catch me every time on these apps because it'll be the beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, she's really pretty. So page more down, and then it's like there's Shrek next to her. It's like, oh.
But what happened? What is it? I mean, is it like when she married him?
I mean, I think
why didn't she go downhill?
Right? I don't know. Or maybe she's having a resurgence, you know?
We all steadily, though. I mean, it's not like, I mean, we're all aging every day.
Right. Well, you know, a trend that I've seen on TikTok lately is that people are getting on there and they'll be like in their 30s or 40s even and be like, I know I don't look my age. And then they get torn apart on the comments and people are like, no, you actually really do look your age. But then there's the other side that people have been making the comparison that like Gen Z, I guess, is not aging well. Like people in their 20s to early 30s look way older. Meanwhile, there are people in their like late 30s, 40s that have aged pretty well. And
what do you think that's about?
Well, they're saying it's like we've lived through trauma since the beginning of our existence, you know?
Okay,
like,
meaning
all
like
these like 9/11, like all these like traumatic events, wars.
But why would that make us age different?
Because we haven't been as stressed out.
Okay.
But then the Gen X people and millennials are making the argument like, well, we also grew up like where we played outdoors and we had to like entertain ourselves and, you know, drink water from the hose.
Yeah, that's my generation, I guess, right?
Yeah. Like we kind of like have had a little bit more of a relaxed environment.
We also had the sun damage you guys don't have because you guys were the sunscreen babies.
Yes. I mean, I wasn't totally. Okay. Well, and that's the thing. I'm on like the cusp of like Gen X and millennial.
Yeah.
Because I was born in 1980, so a lot of people, but I think it's between the
what year were you actually born?
1980.
Okay, 1980. I was 1974.
Yeah, so there's like this little cusp, this little clip of the generational gap there where it's like between 1978 to, I think they said 1985, maybe 1986. Like that's this little pocket generation that kind of like, we have the memory of like not having the internet, right?
Yeah.
We have the memory of like being told to play outside all day and not come back indoors.
Totally, that was me.
Yeah, or not having cable TV or all those things. But we also know what it was like to have the internet in high school.
Yeah, like, we did not.
Like I was getting onto, I guess we didn't have social media, but we had AOL and chat and all that stuff. Like, and I got it in sophomore year of high school. Okay. And in college, had the instant messenger, AOL instant messenger, those kind of things. And so it's kind of like we're in this like unique little pocket of both generations.
Okay, I could see that.
But all that to say, it's funny to me that so many people in their 20s and 30s are saying like, yeah, we do look older than the older generation does. But I pulled up pictures of myself from when I was in my like late 20s, early 30s, and I'm like, I looked older back then though.
To you. I wonder though, you can't look at yourself and you need like an outsider to
I know.
do it.
Well, I think I've debated on doing this video on TikTok. I just don't know if I'm brave enough to do it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if it was because I was a TV reporter and like my hair was shorter and like a little bit more like reporter-esque.
Right.
So I don't know, but I look back and I'm like, God, I feel like I look younger today at 43 than I did when I was 29, 30.
Interesting. I wonder too, like you do have a young presentation.
Yeah,
I could see that. I could totally see that.
I don't know if the same thing will happen to those people that are in their late 20s and 30s right now. Like if they'll find that when they're 40, they kind of like revert back. I don't want to say revert back, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really, and I wonder too, like if it's because you're, and now me, but when you're single, there is like an air of youth to you in a way that I think I look my age. I mean, I
feel like you have a youthful aura.
Well, thank you. And I feel old as hell right now because I'm exhausted.
No, but you have like style.
Okay,
too,
thank you. Thank you, my friend.
Because so many people, I feel like they get stuck in that style that they had in their 20s.
Everyone know you get whatever you graduated college with is what you stick with.
Exactly.
You know what I'm noticing is a lot of my friends are the age gaps. Like I have this thing where once Maria and I broke up, I was like, I'm really interested in people older than me or my age. Mm-hmm. But as I was saying that, it's like life keeps showing me these like big age disparity couples. Like last night I spent time with a woman they're like 17 years apart, her and her partner. They're madly in love. Like it's awesome. Talked to another woman today and she's like, yeah, I've always dated people like 8 to 10 years different than me. Then my neighbor, there's an age gap there. It's like showing up more. And I wonder if that has something to do with your thing about these younger people kind of seem older.
Yeah. I think so, maybe.
In a way. I don't know.
There are people that I meet that are like, 10 years younger than me. And I'm like, wow, you like really have your shit together, Or
just the conversation feels natural. It doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like you're from another universe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it is kind of weird because we do have that like mindset, like growing up, like even with my kids, I'm always telling them, I'm like, there is not a reason in the world when you are 16 that a 23-year-old
should be hitting on you. I say it all the time.
Like your world's apart.
Yep.
And I was like, but that shifts when you get older.
But you're like, once I'm able to do it, then it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Never mind that I've dated people that were 10 years younger than me. Let's ignore that part.
True.
But it is like, it's just, you're in different places. And I think once you do hit like, let's say 30, you are in more of like an alignment with someone who's in their 40s.
Right.
So,
yeah. I don't know. It's like, it's interesting. It's like, it is so personal to the person because there's people I'll talk to that are my age even. And I'm like, you are so immature. I can't even believe your maturity level.
Exactly. And that is a great point because there are people that are like my age or older. And I'm like, did we miss a few?
Did you? Are you girl years? Interrupted? Yeah. Like, what happened?
Were you like asleep on the curb for a few years and you just woke up? Like,
I know, right?
But even I have felt a little stunted if I really think about like my, like, if you think about like the evolution of relationships that I've experienced since coming out.
Okay.
And like kind of what I was putting up with 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And versus what I would put up with
oh my
today.
God, me too.
And it's like, I almost feel like we were a little bit emotionally stunted having been in these long-term marriages.
Is it emotionally stunted or were you recovering in a recovery phase?
I think that's a better way to look at it. Recovery phase, but also just kind of like we were out of the world of dating and having to be like self-aware in that kind of way.
And maybe not knowing, like to your point, what I put up with was because I didn't know what was. I remember you and I even verbalizing, like, God, is this fucking normal that these women behave this way?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? Mm-hmm. So I think it's too, like, you don't know what's normal.
Yeah.
If that's you're fresh out.
Well, and that kind of is funny because I was just talking to a friend about this last night with comparing how things that have happened in relationships with women.
Yeah.
The things that I've put up with.
I know.
If it was happening with a man.
Get the fuck out.
I would have been like, peace
out. And don't lose my fucking number.
Yeah. Why is it that when we kind of concluded that when it's coming from a really pretty package and they're sweet,
it's true,
and like they have a way of spinning it.
That's why I'm mean.
Different.
That's why I'm mean from the beginning. That's exactly why. I mean, out of the gate, I just start mean. But there's no surprises.
If a man was like telling me they needed space for months
waiting to text you back and you think you have plans. Get out of here. I'm gone.
Or like, not consistently showing up for my kids or something.
Yeah.
I would be like, peace out.
Totally. It's a turnoff.
Like, why?
It's an ick.
Why are we doing this with women?
I know. Well, we don't anymore because you and I wised up really quick. And I'm proud to say it took us one relationship to say no more. Well, it actually took you two.
It took me a few.
It took you two. It took me one to say this will never happen to me again.
A while.
And it never happened to me again.
Yeah.
It's an ick.
It is.
It's like if you don't know you want to be with me, or if you don't know you want me Saturday night, that's an ick.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in you.
Like you said, if you're waiting to text me back.
If you're waiting to text me back.
Our phones are right in front of us.
I don't believe it. Or people are like, oh, I was out of town.
Yeah.
They don't have phones in Chicago. Do they don't have AT&T in Chicago?
I thought Chicago had the internet.
It's so true. I also think I have a high, like my sensitivity to being blown off is like I'm a little too sensitive like to what is getting blown off. Like sometimes I'll think maybe I'm getting blown off and I'm not.
And you're not.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing too. It is kind of like that rejection sensitivity.
Yeah, the rejection sensitivity.
Is so like escalated, especially like coming out of a relationship.
It is.
Like you're so like sensitive and vulnerable.
Yeah. Let me tell you a quick funny story that just happened in the last 24 hours. So I was talking to this person, not just friends, total friends, but I felt this like flirting, like the person was flirting with me. And I'm out of the gate like 1 week. Like I have no idea what's happening. I'm not looking to date anyone. Like I'm dating me. I'm dating you, yes. Melissa. I'm dating these kids. I'm not interested in anyone. So that's just where my head is right now. But I was like kind of excited. I'm like, I think this person's fucking flirting with me. And I'm like telling Owen, who's like, he's a good person to talk to. Yeah. So he reads the whole string and he's like, Mom, I don't want to hurt your feelings. This is not flirting.
Let's be real. You think everyone's flirting with you.
I think everyone's flirting with me. I have the opposite of anorexia. Like I have the thing where I think I look good actually, or I think good things are happening. So I'm like, this is flirting. He's like, it isn't. Like, I want to say it is. It's not.
And I have the opposite. I don't see it at all when someone's flirting with me. It would be like months down the line. And it'd be like, I think that person was flirting with me.
I'm now looking back.
Like, now I see it.
Yeah. But then my best friend, who's like my age range, was like, that's flirting.
Really?
So it's almost like, is it an age thing? Is it like, yeah, you've got to be so aggressive at his age for it to be flirting.
I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it.
I'll show it to you. Yeah, I would love to know what you think because you're wise to those ways.
I am, but I'm not.
Although you think no one's flirting.
I think no one's flirting with me.
Yeah. And I was like having a really good day that day. And I thought after he said that, it was like, oh, really? It's not? And he's like, it's not.
See it. I'm like, they just really want to know what my favorite color is. And like what life was like growing up, you know?
They just are really curious about my mom and my abandonment issues.
They're here for me.
They're here for me. They're a new friend. That's so funny. I know. I don't know. It's hard out there, man.
It is really hard.
Yeah.
And it's funny to compare the two of like back when I was dating men in my 20s versus like the low key, like the lowest of low key dating that I've been doing it's like night and day where I didn't give a shit in my 20s.
I know.
I really didn't care.
Right.
And now I'm like, oh, like, why does this hurt my feelings?
I know. Why does this hurt my feelings, you dipshit? I know. Do you ever feel like, though, now that you're single, because I feel like I haven't been single so long, and the social things I do with you guys. Like, I'm in a very curated, protected group of women that no one's hitting on me. Yeah. Like, this is a safe crowd. Mm-hmm. But every now and again, we end up in somewhere where there's potential people. Do you find yourself, like, having conversations, and you're like, is this interesting to me? Or is this, like, I do find myself starting to ask the question of what would I, like, if I was in this room and I had to pick somebody, what would I kind of gravitate towards?
I don't know.
Like, do you do that at all?
A little bit, but not, I wouldn't say like, it's not like forefront of my mind, I guess. And it probably should be because that's like a much better way to be meeting people versus the stupid dating apps that are
I don't have
completely useless.
I just don't have it in me. Like I
know. I guess that's it's such a time commitment.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'm just like, I don't have the bandwidth or the interest to entertain it. And that's just kind of what I realized as I was like on there.
Yeah.
It's like,
but I know everybody meets that way.
I know. And I think the thing is, it's like, deep down, I'm not ready.
Deep down, I'm not ready either.
And so, like, of course, I'm not going to like want to put the effort into messaging people on an app when I'm not truly ready.
Well, I was saying to the woman last night, we ended up the sweet, like, awesome new friend who lives in the neighborhood. We drove together to an event, so we were in the car together a long time. We had a long time to talk. But I was kind of saying to her that, yeah, like, I don't feel like, I guess, yeah, that's it. I'm not ready. So it's like there's no one's interesting to me right now because I'm not ready.
Well, and it's kind of funny because thinking back on, like, we've done conversations episodes about different types of relationship. What's the word? Like avoidance.
Yeah.
Dismissive avoidant.
Yeah.
Secure, anxious attachment styles. That's what it is. And I've been around people that are avoidant. Mm-hmm. I've been avoidant.
Yeah.
And right now I feel it in my soul that avoidance come up.
Like you like don't want to return the phone call, or you
like
don't want to.
It's just like the bandwidth kind of thing, I guess.
Or is it ever like someone texts you too many times and you're like, what's wrong with you? you must be desperate. You've texted me 4 times.
It's more so like I just feel it come up in my body, and I'm like, but these people that are dating that are avoidants, they're just pushing through these issues and ignoring them.
They're pushing through your issues or their own?
No. I'm saying like someone who is trying to date that isn't an avoidant.
Okay.
That is their attachment style currently.
Is avoidant.
They are avoidant because they are not ready. But they do not see it.
Okay, yeah, and maybe it's like that's not really who I am. It's just who I am showing up right now.
That's who I am right now.
Because I'm in this fragile state.
Yeah. And I feel that avoidance feeling come up in me.
Yeah.
And that tells me I'm not ready.
It does. That's good. That's good intel.
But so many people will just kind of push through and be like, no, I'm ready. Like, I like the attention.
Yeah, I want the attention.
And it's nice to like forget about this other person, but you're not there yet.
But what's interesting, like you, in some ways it's like I'm proud of you because you still will, like, if you meet someone interesting, you'll show up for the coffee.
Yeah.
Like I probably wouldn't right now.
I still want to like curate.
Yeah.
But I'm also like not in a space, I'm not going to be on the lesbian bullet train right now.
Yeah.
And I love that though, because I just don't want to rush anything.
No.
I want to like slowly get to know someone.
Are there enough people you feel like are you starting to get out of that scarcity mindset?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's starting to feel like, okay, people will kind of like come up.
Yeah.
Like, even though I do feel like I've met every single lesbian in Atlanta.
I know.
I do realize that there are some that, there's maybe 5 that I haven't met.
Well, then maybe you could introduce me to some.
Right.
I don't know any. Like, yes, I do. I mean, I know our group.
And you went to Second Friday, and that was helpful, meeting people.
Yeah. I guess, though, I feel like the people that our immediate, like, crew that's who they're, to me, the great ones. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like the really great women are in my circle.
Like dating your friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important right now.
Yeah.
I feel like that is truly what we are, like, doing.
Right.
Like, we're trying to find the time and do stuff together.
I know. I will say, like, that is one. Before Maria and I broke up, like, there was this moment that I remember we were having this conversation. It was when the year turned 2024. I was like, my word for this year with you is expand. Like, we need to not hole up the way we do. Like, yeah, we're busy. Yeah, we have children. Yeah, we're gone a lot. But, like, we should show up for stuff with our friends more. Time. And I remember that it turned into like a little bit of like it wasn't like a easy conversation. It was sort of like expand. Like, what does that mean? Like, that felt threatening in some way, and it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
So, but that went on, and whatever happens. But that has, over the last couple months, I do feel myself like expanding. Mm-hmm. Like, I never make new friends. I feel like the woman that I rode together, I loved hanging out with her.
Yeah.
I would have never done that 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed that time with her in the car immensely. And that's expanding.
Yeah, I think that's really important too, because it kind of branches away from that codependency that we end up in a relationship.
So true.
Like, so many people, that's why you're afraid to leave, because you're so codependent on this person. Like, what do I do without this person?
Right.
But like, that's kind of something I'm embracing right now. Like, I'm going to a concert tonight by myself. I would have never done that 5 years ago.
I would never do that now.
But I'm kind of excited about
it. I know.
It.
It's like if I could go see Jason Isbell alone without anyone like getting in the way of my watching the show.
Exactly.
I would really enjoy that.
I'm going to have a seat. I'm up close.
How do you do though that like sometimes I love live music so much that I get very excited. Like I'm like just excited. Do you then, where does that energy go?
I'll probably dance a little bit and cheer and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'll almost feel better because I won't have, someone that I know, watching me and judging me.
Yeah. You know? Okay. That's funny.
I don't know. I get, Lizzo. I went to see Lizzo, and I had a blast.
I fucking had a blast at Lizzo.
Stuff,
yeah.
So.
But even, if I'm at a show with Maria.
This isn't really a dancing show. It's Third Eye Blind in Arizona, and I think Yellow Card is also playing.
Okay.
They have that song, Ocean Avenue, that came out, forever ago.
It'll be a great show, and you're absolutely right that it's fine.
Yeah.
But do you ever do the thing this just says this is my personality that I need to work on. This is my work.
Yeah.
But even if I'm at a show and she would go to the bathroom and I'm there for 10 minutes by myself, I remember I have feelings of I don't know, I got left here or something.
Aww.
I don't know.
It's the abandonment.
It's the abandonment. But that's my work, right?
Yeah, totally.
So when you're uncomfortable, question that immensely.
Exactly.
Dig in.
Yeah.
Why am I uncomfortable?
It's uncomfortable to show up alone. I did the wake surfing lesson last week.
Yeah.
And I really didn't want to go. Leading up, the day up, I was really excited about doing it. And it was a women's only session, which made me feel better because I'm all right, there's not going to be any men there that I don't know.
Hog the spotlight.
Yeah. Or judge me that I'm not getting up. I've wakeboarded before, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So I was nervous about it. And I also have a great fear of drowning too.
I know, that's my fear.
And it was on Lake Lanier. And
oh my God, the Death Lake.
Lake Lanier.
The Death Lake.
For someone who's not from Atlanta.
It's the Death Lake.
It's known as being, people die there.
I don't even let the kids. The kids will be like, can I go? I'm like, no.
No. It's bad.
It's just, yeah.
I'm not, people were jumping off the boat into the lake. I'm like, are you nuts?
Yeah,
that's how the ghosts grab you.
That's how the ghosts grab you. It's like the Bermuda Triangle down there.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. So anyway, they were talking about canceling it that day because of the weather.
Oh, you were so excited.
And I was like, please, just
come on, God. Come on, God.
I just don't know that I can handle this today. And then they were like, we're going to make a decision later on. And I'm like, I'm just going to drive out there. And then sure enough, they kept it and I went out there and I did it and I had a freaking blast.
And you looked like a badass.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
So you'll do it again?
I have another lesson tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Okay. And it looked like other people wanted to do it. They just didn't have time to get in on it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to recruit a few more people to come with. But yeah, it was such a supportive group. Mm-hmm. It was women's only, but we had a guy driver and a guy instructor.
Okay.
And they were both so cool and chill.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just.
What were the other women like?
They were, two of them were moms, and live on the lake. And they, you know why they wanted to go?
To do it with their kids.
One of them was my husband drives me nuts every time I try to go wake surfing with him. He gets mad at me that I'm not getting up and all this stuff. And she's like, I wanted to go where I didn't have him around.
Oh!
Yeah. And she got up the third or fourth try. And then by the end of the day was doing amazing.
So wait a minute, this husband sucks.
I know. And I was I want a reaction video from him. As he's watching your videos of you.
You should have made out with her. I think you should have made out with her. That's all I'm thinking right now. The wake surfing should have turned into a hard makeout. And that should have been the video that went to the husband to be like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
What
Look
a dick.
At women supporting women out here.
Women supporting women. I just kissed your wife, dude.
I know. Tomorrow's is co-ed though, so we'll see if that's, but at least now I have the confidence. I know I can get up and the guys that were teaching it were like, you did awesome.
Same driver?
I think I'll have different people.
Okay.
But all in all, Surf ATL, if anybody lives around here, it's such a cool little group that they've started.
What time are you going? Maybe someone will just sign up late.
Well, God, they'd have to listen to this tomorrow morning and.
Oh yeah. You're right.
3
you're
o'clock.
Right. Yeah.
But they do multiple sessions. I'm signed up for another session in August.
Did you say the same guys though that drove you the first time?
No, I'll have different drivers.
Different drivers. Okay. Because that is I love water skiing. I'm done it my whole life, but my father pulling me as a child, into adulthood, my dad still pulls me, but he's does it right in my opinion. He knows how to get me out of the water in a way that sometimes if I go to someone's lake and I'm trying to ski, eventually I do it, but I'm it's a little harder because it's you get used to my dad. It's nerve-wracking and I'm used to the way he
because if you
fall
down, they've got to circle back. Yeah. It's the whole thing.
Totally.
But I will say with wake surfing, the thing that I really like compared to wakeboarding, I've also tried to water ski when I was like maybe 10. Yeah. And I swear to God, water went through my brain.
I know but once you get it, you get it.
Right. Yeah. But with wake surfing, you're not going as fast. You're going, I think they said 10 to 15 miles an hour. So if you do fall, you're not smacking the water at 30 miles an hour where it hurts.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of fall and like be prepared to fall. Like I was able to like hold my nose so I wasn't like getting blasted.
Where we ski in Florida, they have like this area. It's like my parents live on an island, but there's like a backside of the island where it's more like just flat water. It's not like the ocean with big waves. It's flat water. And they call it Ski Alley, and people ski there. So that's where we go when I go there. But not that long ago, somebody showed us like a drone footage of like Ski Alley and like what's in the water down there. And now I'm like, I will never, ever sharks.
Oh no.
I'm like, I will never, ever ski there again. My dad's like, they're not going to bother you. I'm like, he's like, you've been doing this your whole life. Like you're all of a sudden scared. I'm like, I will never ski there again.
Really
my kids won't ski there. Like, no, thank you.
I know the ocean freaks me out a
lot. I know.
Like, water in general definitely freaks me out. That's why I've always stuck more to snowboarding. I'm like, I don't have to worry about a shark eating me while I'm snowboarding.
I know. It is so rare, but I'm like, no, thank you.
Same thing with surfing. Like surfing, you've got sharks to contend with. Also, like most conditions that you can surf in are really rough.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
it's true.
You're fighting for your fucking life to even get out there to catch
dark.
a wave.
I don't want any part
There's
of that.
Rocks, like I don't know. I'm good with this whole wake surfing thing. I wish I knew someone that owned one of these like $60,000 boats.
I've seen a lot of people do it on our lake. Like the kids always want to get behind them because they put out that huge wave and like
I didn't realize it's a special boat that does it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Like I was asking them, I'm like, can we do this on a pontoon boat?
Yeah, can we? No. Yeah, because the wake is like nothing off the back of our boat. Yeah.
So,
oh well.
But all that to say, like I said, I was scared about like showing up that day. I still went, but I think it's part of that healing process and doing things alone.
Okay.
And I have a friend who, she actually took a cooking class alone a few months ago.
Yeah.
Like she's single and trying to like navigate stuff. And so she signed up for this cooking class.
And you're not doing it to meet people. I think you're doing it to more just like, I am here in this space with myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that, and she was like, there's nothing but other couples in this class. Yeah. But I'm still here and I'm learning like new skills and like, it's fun.
Yeah.
So
tell me about a time that you've done that and it's been like, this is lonely and a reminder that I'm alone. Never. Okay. What if you go to a bar by yourself? I had someone tell me today they go to bars alone.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I did that a few weeks ago because I had a date cancel on me.
Okay.
And so I ended up just going and having some drinks at a bar in Peachtree City and made friends with the people that were sitting there at the bar.
Okay.
Had a great night.
How do you do that though? Like you're sitting at the bar,
well, the
you
guy
get a drink.
was like, there was a guy sitting next to me and I didn't want to talk to anybody that night. I really just planned on like scrolling on my phone. I think I had a TikTok video that I wanted to like edit. And then he was like slowly kind of talking to me and I was like, dude, like, come on.
I'm gay. Yeah.
Right. But the more that he kind of talked to me, I was like, oh, he's kind of harmless. He says he's married. He has kids. He's like in the film industry. I feel like I might have already talked about this on the podcast. So
but why was he talking to you?
He just wanted to have someone to talk to.
Because he's like away from home out of town.
Yeah. He was from out of town. But he came to that same bar like on a regular basis.
Got it.
It's kind of like his thing that he does.
Okay. Like baby reindeer.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar to that.
Except I was not stalked. God, what a wild show. Oh my God. Have you seen Love Lies Bleeding?
No.
So it has Kristen Stewart in it.
I love her.
It's like billed as like a lesbian movie, right?
Okay.
And so like I saw the previews. I didn't really like see too much of the previews, but all I knew was lesbian movie. I see it's popped up on HBO Max.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch this. It's fucking wild.
Really?
It like reminded me of like Pulp Fiction. Like,
wait,
level.
good?
Like, it was good, but it was like really gory.
Okay.
In a way that I was just like not expecting.
Okay.
And like,
Love Lies Bleeding.
Yeah. It's like kind of more of like a thriller. I don't know. I did not know what I was getting into.
Okay.
With like starting to watch it. So
worth me, I have a high like.
I think you would like it. Just be prepared for that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Where it's kind of
I don't mind that.
Like,
yeah.
Like kind of unexpected.
Okay. I'm in.
It's not like what's that movie? the holiday season.
Yeah. It's like the opposite.
It's nothing like that.
Tatum's favorite show growing up was Gilmore Girls, and so she's been home for a while, and so she just like gets nostalgic when she's back here in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. She'll like watch reruns of Gilmore Girls. Oh, okay. And now the boys are like obsessed with it.
Really?
So it was literally like you're talking about love lies bleeding. My kids are like, for 3 days we've been watching Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, it is complete
opposite
of Gilmore Girls.
Exactly. But it is like nostalgic.
Yeah. So Reed's watching?
Reed loves it.
Really?
Totally loves it.
Is it appropriate for like kids my age?
Yeah. Okay. So far,
I've been trying to find a lot of stuff to watch with my kids lately.
Yeah, I'll tell you what to watch right now that's so good that you will freaking love and they will love.
Let's hear it.
Young Sheldon.
Oh, really?
I can't wait. Every night, Reed and I get in bed, I'm like, Young Sheldon?
Oh,
like, it is so good. It keeps my attention the entire time.
Okay.
I love the characters.
Good to know, 'cause that sounds kind of along the lines of Abbott Elementary. My kids
better
love
than Abbott. Better than Abbott.
Better than Abbott.
Better than Abbott.
What?
Yes.
That's bold.
Yes.
I keep wanting to show my kids movies that I suddenly realize, like, wait, this is not appropriate. Like,
or
I started to show
boring.
them Bring It On.
Oh God,
because I was like, it's like high school cheerleaders, and like the opening scene, she like wakes up topless or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay, like hold on.
How about or you show them stuff. My favorite movie growing up was Black Stallion. It's a very old movie, but I told my kids all about it. I'm like, it's one of the best movies of all time. Like, you've got to watch this movie. And I put it on, and it is literally, I didn't realize, it's like watching paint dry.
Oh,
boring.
my God.
I can't believe as a kid, I loved
seriously.
it. Black Stallion.
That is so true with like all these movies that came out in like 70s, 80s. They're so fucking boring.
They're so boring. I'm looking at them like, I promise it gets better, you guys. Just wait.
They're either really boring or too intense. Like, I tried to show them An American Tail with the Fievel. Mm-hmm. I was in love with Fievel when I was a kid.
Same.
That movie's so fucking boring.
I know, but wow, is it?
It's like a fucking nap.
I know, and I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it.
And then the other movie I loved was Land Before Time.
Yeah, of course.
The first 15 minutes of that is so traumatic. I was watching that a few years ago. I'm like, why isn't this rated R?
This should be rated R.
They're chasing poor Littlefoot. His parents are gone. He's being chased down by a T-Rex. The earth is crumbling. Like, it's awful.
I know. There were, the classics, though, that were so good that I feel like they can't repeat now. Like Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh, yeah.
Father of the Bride.
I
like, there
Father.
were, like...
I did watch, my kids have watched Father of the Bride. They like that one. We also started watching It Could Happen to You, where Nicolas Cage wins the lottery.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
we'll watch some little cute...
There's some classics.
While you were sleeping.
Watch them. Get Black Stallion.
Oh, my God.
If you want to put them to
They'll
bed.
They'll be mad at me at this point. Because sometimes they're like,
trust
Mom,
you. I know. My kids were like, what is happening? What are we... Change it.
We were trying to watch the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and that was boring.
I know. But that's part of it, too. I worry their attention spans.
I'm worried about mine.
I know, mine too. But let's get back to gay, because we were talking about, you were going to give us some thoughts that you had.
We've gone off the rails for 36 minutes.
Okay, talk about, though, some thoughts you have now that you wish you would have known.
Yes. So it's now been like, I think 100 days since I officially, my relationship.
It's been 7 hours.
That's such a good song.
Okay.
It's been, I think, around 100 days since my relationship ended officially.
Okay.
And I just did a TikTok video on this last week, because there was just so many things where I'm like, all right, I'm at that 3-month, 90-day mark. Like, these are the things I wish I could have like realized on day one. And I know that if I told myself this on day one, that I would have been like, get out of here. Like, whatever.
I wonder if some of this I told you.
Maybe, possibly.
Oh, God. I'll try not to say I told you so.
But I also do want to include, though, like, me and Marina, we were like having some problems anyway. Or we weren't even having problems. It was just that she wanted some distance. Mm-hmm. And so we did no contact at the beginning of the year. So I've had some like kind of leeway here with this breakup. So I feel like I might be a little bit farther ahead than some people would be at the 90-day mark. So if you aren't feeling the way that I'm feeling right now,
it's coming.
So the first thing I wish I could have reminded myself of is that you can live without them. Mm-hmm. Your brain is used to them right now.
Yep.
And that's why it's difficult to like not hear from them. You're used to having that dopamine hit, that excitement of hearing from them. And also like you have a time where you didn't know them.
Yeah. And you were fine. Yeah.
It's like you just now have to get used to where they're not in your life anymore.
I like that.
And it does get easier. The other thing is to take them off the pedestal.
Like big one.
And the reason why they're on that pedestal is because they didn't choose you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's delve into that though. They're on the pedestal to you because they didn't choose you, meaning they're too good for me. They didn't pick me.
Put them up higher.
Yeah.
Because you're not being chosen. And especially with something like mine where it kind of felt repeatedly like I wasn't being chosen.
Rejected.
It made it feel worse.
Yeah, like you're way too good for me.
Yeah.
Or you're on this pedestal. I can't get you. I want you, but I can't have you. Yeah.
But why? And
right.
It's because, and it's like this is something I've kind of dove in deeper on, is that we all have this inherent need to be chosen.
Yep.
You know, it goes back to your childhood of like wanting attention from your parents.
For sure.
Like, are they going to choose me? Am I going to get what I want? Am I going to feel like they care about me? And when you're rejected and not chosen, it's bringing up that childhood wound.
It's a trigger.
Really in all of us.
Yeah.
Because even if you have the most perfect childhood on the planet, you're still going to have some time in your childhood where you didn't feel great. Of course. You know?
Yeah. That's so true.
And I think when you kind of like can match those feelings up and realize like it's deeper than just this person.
Would it ever be
take them off the pedestal?
And that maybe like some people, your triggers don't match my triggers. Like if you are somebody who has all this other shit going on in your life that makes me not really the priority, and my trigger is being abandoned, then maybe you aren't the best partner for me.
Exactly. If this person can't prioritize me.
And that's not to say that makes them a bad person. It's more just like that's where they're at. Yeah.
It's where they're at. And that's the other thing is to kind of break it down in that respect of like, this has nothing to do with me necessarily. It's in who I am as a human being. It's not that I'm not worthy of being chosen. It's that they have all this other shit.
Right.
That they're going through.
Right.
So it's not me, it's their wounds.
It's not me, it's you.
It's not me, it's you.
What I really hear you saying is, I'm not the problem.
I'm not the problem.
Exactly. Okay. I like that one.
The other thing is unfollow them on social media.
Oh, yeah. You've said that. That's a good one.
I want to like blast this from the rooftops because this is something that I really resisted doing because I wanted to, we're on good terms.
Of course.
We're fine. We're not talking right now, but we're fine.
She doesn't ever want to speak to me again, but we're fine. I'm kidding. She loves you. Yeah.
Kidding.
She's told me she loves being in your life.
We're good. We just we've got to both heal from this right now, you know? And it is not healthy, no matter any way you do it, it is not healthy to be following each other on social media because you're going to pop up on each other's pages. Because I tried to do the thing where you can mute people, where you don't see their posts, you don't see their stories. But it's like, even so, if I typed in any single letter of her name or her screen name, it would pop up on my Instagram.
Yeah. Do you think too that it's like, because to take that one step further, I noticed like a couple weeks ago when I was having to have more dealing with her because of things we had to split and like we were breaking up, I'm moving, we've got to exchange things. I was seeing her a lot and it was bringing up my pain versus like now it's probably been a week. I don't know that I've talked to her in a week. And do you notice like I am lighter?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, I wonder too, if like there's more to just maybe no contact.
And and the thing is, like, I told her I was unfollowing her on social media. And I said, this is not like out of any animosity.
Adore her.
This is out of my own healing.
Yeah.
And yes, I want you to go live your best life. I really do. Go have fun, travel, do all the things that you want to do. I just can't look at it right now.
No.
Like, I can't have it in my face. And even when I'm trying not to have it in my face, it still is going to pop up. And I still will see, like, where she liked something on Instagram. And now that I've unfollowed, it's been, like, a little over a month. Like you've said, it's like I feel so much lighter.
I feel lighter, too.
And it doesn't mean that, like, we can't be friends on social media again one day.
Yeah. In 6 months, like, a year, 3 months. Like, it just...
But right now, it is the best thing that I could have done.
And you know your body. I think I said this last night. It's like I know when my stomach starts to get like a pit in my stomach or like anxiety, like something happens. I come back from it, but it's like a minute of like that feeling.
Yes.
And it's like that feeling in my stomach, my heart, of like my stomach drops when I see something. It's not good for me.
So I know the exact feeling you're talking about.
Yeah, it sucks. Terrible. It's happened to me in the past 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
And that's my body telling me, I don't need this. Yeah. It's not good for me.
And if you can find ways to not have to face that, not have to deal with that, it is so much more healing.
I agree.
So the other thing, we talked about this on the episode with the other Alli, about not using
the other Alli.
The other Alli. Remember the drinking?
Yeah.
Man,
I just talked to her.
Calm down, Leo.
Let me tell you this. That's funny because last night at the party, the low party, which was so fun, and Alli came up to me and was like, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm the other Alli."
Oh,
like
really?
And she's like, "I'm Allison. I'm the other Alli," and I was like, "Wait, what? Like who? How? There's 3 Allis, I guess, in this group."
Oh, wow.
And she's one of them. I'm one of them. There must be a third one that I don't know. But anyway, there's another Alli popping around. Don't give us a bad rap, Alli.
So many Allis in the world.
Okay, so the Alli that came on our show, who I love.
We were talking about not using alcohol. And I know it makes you forget things. It makes you check out. It helps you to check out, I guess is what I'm saying. And as much as it seems like it's helping you, it's hindering you.
Totally.
It's making your anxiety worse. It's delaying your healing. If you can try to avoid doing that or at least cut back, do so, please.
No brainer.
The other thing was what we talked about earlier, date your friends.
Date your friends.
Just immerse yourself in your friends.
Yep.
And
what
get
if you
to
don't
know
have,
them
What
better.
if you don't have plans and you don't have your friends aren't doing anything and you're feeling like shit, I have no plans and I'm trying to
embrace it.
Yeah.
Embrace being at home and just being in quiet and not having to talk to anybody else about what you're doing that night. That to me is something that I've really started to be like, you know what? I can have whatever I want for dinner.
I know, but is it okay, so let's say
watch whatever I want.
Yeah.
I can go to bed at 9:00 if I feel like it.
I get it. And it's also I feel okay. In my own house, the other night I watched the Indigo Girls docuseries and I sat here by myself. It was a weekend night, I think.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying myself immensely. And I said to myself, I'm having fun right now. I'm not unhappy right now.
Yeah.
It's more I think I'm worried about how it is. Oh, wow, where are my friends? Do I not have enough friends?
But that's one night.
And it's one night, and I do have enough friends.
Yeah.
It's
okay to not have plans every night.
It's okay.
And
it's
I've
better.
had FOMO
I don't
my
want
whole
it.
life.
I don't even have that. I don't want to go.
I do.
But I feel I have to.
I've had to pull away from that because I realize I'm God, I've literally had plans almost every weekend since I was in the 8th grade.
I know. Why though? But see, so you have it a little bit too. But I think if I know I'm going to have a weird night where I'm scared of how I'm going to feel, I just did this. I said this to you and Christine. Mm-hmm. I'm dreading this particular night. I don't want I know I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Let's make plans. And you guys had plans for me within 30 seconds.
Right.
So I think you just also have to get vulnerable.
You have
to verbalize it to people that are safe to verbalize it to.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And this next thing kind of circles back to what we were talking about trying new things, doing things alone, but it's immerse yourself in anything else that doesn't have to do with dating, any romantic thing.
Wake surfing.
Yeah, wake surfing, cooking classes, binge watch something on Netflix.
Yep.
Although I will say don't watch things that have a romantic storyline because that can be triggering for me personally. I was trying to rewatch some of Love is Blind and I'm ugh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's too triggery.
Right.
So I've just watched the show Your Honor on Netflix, which was great.
Yep.
Bryan Cranston. I watched Righteous Gemstones.
Okay.
That one's a great one. Just shows that are allow you to check out a little bit and give yourself permission to check out. Give yourself permission to skip out on a Friday night and stay home and watch TV.
Yeah.
Who cares?
No, I fucking love it.
And the last thing is to stay away from the dating apps.
Yeah. I know. I don't want to say that though because everybody meets, but I'm with you. I'm not getting on there.
Yeah. I tried it because I just was oh, this will be a good way for me to meet new people, take my mind off of things. But like I said, I feel that avoidance creeping up. I don't want to be avoidant to someone. I don't want to treat them that way.
And I don't want to do a thing with you. I don't know you.
That too.
I'm not in the space right now. If I've got 2 hours, I've got 2 hours, I'm having Melissa and I hang my curtains.
Exactly. That's on the agenda for this afternoon. Yes. But also on top of that, this is another thing I mentioned on one of the last episodes is you're projecting your hurt onto other people when you're trying to date too soon. Mm-hmm. It's just gonna.
How do you know you're ready to date?
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess if you start to feel like open to it and you don't feel that avoidance creeping in, you don't feel annoyed that like we're talking about my favorite color.
I know.
You want to know their favorite color.
I'm probably curious about their favorite color.
Everybody's?
A lot of.
What is your favorite color?
Maybe mine's green, but I don't know that. If anyone wants,
that was like the most bland, point blank answer.
Listen, if you're curious, mine's green. But I don't think.
Good luck dating.
I'm genuinely curious about a lot of people. I think it's interesting because I ask people a lot of questions, and somebody said to me the other day, they're like, yeah, I know people like you. You're doing that because you don't want the spotlight on you.
Answer.
Okay, maybe. But if I'm asking you a lot of questions, like if you are the target of my questions, I assure you, I think you're interesting. Mm-hmm. And I don't do that to everybody. There was a room full of women last night. 2 people got questioned by me, both of which are interesting to me. I'm fascinated. I want to know more.
Yeah.
So 2 people out of 25. Mm-hmm. So I'm not just a random, to me, it's like, if you're interesting, I'm really curious about why this happened. Or
it can be hard too, when you are around someone who is asking a lot of questions, it's hard to kind of like counter back and ask questions.
This woman did.
Yeah.
Like she was just like, yes, tell me more about that. Or like what
sometimes
happened.
It flows really well, but then sometimes it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I don't
know. But it doesn't mean that I want to sleep with you. It means that I'm genuinely.
I think that's the other thing is like taking that off the table for now.
Yeah. It's more like I'm curious that this is interesting to me.
Yeah. Meet new people. Focus on that. It doesn't need to be a dating thing.
Right.
But like I said, I thought I was doing that on the dating apps to just meet new people. But then I realized like there's just an expectation here. And I'm not ready for it. No,
there is an expectation. And then now you're waking up to a text that you've got to now address. And then it's like this thing, and I've got to do the answer and then reply. If it becomes like kind of a chore, then you know that it's maybe you're not ready.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Pay attention to your body, that feeling, that same feeling that comes up when you get like the anxiety from seeing your ex's name pop up on social media. You know? Like pay attention to these feelings in your body.
Right. But is there ever, it's too like, I remember like when I met my partner, there was like a genuine, like my soul felt lit up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so I think every now and again, it's rare, but that does happen.
Yeah.
And those aren't soul light up. If you're listening, that's somebody else's words I'm taking, but I think it's the perfect way of saying it. It's like your soul feels ignited.
I totally know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like that is what I felt when I met Marina.
Yeah.
And she felt it too.
Right.
It was like you two meet and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
This is it.
This is it.
We're doing this.
Right.
And I'm waiting for that to happen again.
I know. That's it. And aren't we all?
Yeah.
Like everybody I know that's single wants that feeling. And I think it's rare.
Yeah.
So
and you can't force it.
You can't force it. And you have to be in the right space to get that feeling.
It. Yeah, absolutely.
So we're all just doing the work, right?
Mm-hmm. We're just over here solving the world's problems.
We are really. And now we're about to solve a big problem that I have, which is behemoth curtains. When you saw the windows you were doing, were you like, fucking A?
We are sitting in a fishbowl right now. Exactly. That is for sure. Alli
You're
has
even
no
seeing
window treatments.
Wait till I show you. Can I show you my room?
I'm like, how long am I committed to being here with helping you?
That's what I'm saying. We're not doing these. We're just going to do these.
Okay.
But I have to show you my bedroom.
Okay.
Because this window is where the movie for the neighborhood's happening.
I didn't even think about that
No,
part.
you know what I have? It's a bar stool.
No, shut up. Oh my God. This might be another, we'll get what we can get done today, but I might have to come back with an actual ladder. Well, I guess we could push the table over.
I'm very excited about my cart.
Okay. Well, we've got work to do.
I tried to recruit someone to help you today, but they said no.
Oh, really?
I'm going to help you. I mean, I just don't know how to do it. Like, I actually did Owen's, but he did it. And
I mean, the fact that I'm even offering to help is like huge because a few years ago, I didn't know how to do any of this.
Do you know how to do it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Your walls look a little weird.
I know, right?
We'll see.
You're going to have to...
We'll see what happens.
We can if we can't, we can't. But you're my best hope.
Okay.
And I have a picture, y'all, that I took of her walking up my sidewalk with the tools. This is like the most lesbian moment I've ever experienced.
100%.
When my lesbian friend shows up in her truck, basically, with a toolbox and a drill
and a cutoff
and a level
shirt.
And a cutoff shirt. And then this level, I've never even seen a level that looks like this.
I know. It's pretty
Are you
impressive.
a contractor now?
You know, I have it because I did my backsplash, my tile backsplash.
It's fucking amazing.
So I use that. But now I use it for everything. So.
I knew I asked the right person.
Yes. It's like maybe $20, $30 on Amazon.
Really? Mm-hmm. It's really fancy.
I love it.
Mine's like the one that came free with something else.
Oh, God.
Anyway, all right, y'all. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
Want to support the Lesbian Chronicles podcast? Rate us and write a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
We love listener feedback. If you'd like to share your story, email us at melissaandalli@gmail.com. That's Melissa, MELISA, and Alli, ALLI, @gmail.com. Or follow us on Instagram at Lesbian Chronicles.